Sound travels farther and faster through water than it travels through air. The sound of a drop wrench, even a man speaking in normal volume, even if he's got a cold, might carry for miles. Detected by American forces using special microphones for the water called hydrophones on their ships. The American ships also use this pinging sound, active sonar, to try and sense U-505 beneath them. Kind of like how bats or dolphins use sound waves for echolocation. Surface ships could use sound waves to look for U-boats or German submarines. U-boat is the Allied nickname for a German submarine. The full German word for submarine is Unterseeboot, undersea boat, submarine. The Allies shortened that to U-boat. Imagine staying underwater for 36 hours straight, surfacing only during the night to get some fresh air, run your diesel engines to recharge your battery system, dive the boat again. When submerged, you're either working or you're ordered to go to sleep, which might sound familiar to some of us. Theoretically, that stretches out their air supply and reduces noise. Anybody think you can sleep through something like this? Maybe? Why not? A little tense? A little stressed out? A little fried? Question? No? Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
When they surface, when they're on the surface, were the crew members allowed to get up and go out on?
Not if they were being pursued. If there was nobody around,
If nobody
yes.
was around, were they allowed to jump in the water and rinse off?
Yes. Early in the war. The later the war got, the more patrols, the more dangerous that became.
Okay, yeah.
So, after 2 days of pursuit, Captain Gallery's men launched a death charge attack against the boat. From this point onward, after these splashes, all the crew could do was hold on, as pressure-sensitive explosive devices blew up around them. U-boat was kicked around like a tin can, suffered critical mechanical damage, started sinking, and the captain faced a choice, up or down. Up, 6 U.S. warships. Down, certain destruction at the bottom of the ocean or below this boat's crush depth of 755 feet. He took a slim chance over no chance at all, ordered an emergency blow, and the men used compressed air to force all the water out of the ballast compartments, which shot the boat out of control up to the surface, just what Captain Gallery and his men were counting on. As the boat surfaced, the captain entered the conning tower, followed by his first mate and the radio man. Saw they were now surrounded, and then all of them took cover as the task group fired on the boat with their machine guns for 6 long minutes. The captain and first mate were critically injured. The radio man was killed. The captain shouted out all men out of the boat and all surviving crewmen. 58 out of 59 total. 1 was killed, so 59 original, 58 now, because 1 was dead, got out of the boat. 1 sailor opened a valve, starting a flood. The idea with that was to sink the boat before the Americans could reach it. It almost worked. As soon as the last German got out, though, 9 men from the USS Pillsbury got in. They were led by Lieutenant Albert David of Maryville, Missouri. Neither he nor his men spoke or read German. Lieutenant David was the only one who had ever seen the inside of an American boat before in his life. Certainly not a flooding, disabled, possibly even rigged to explode enemy German vessel. His job and his team's job, get control of the boat as fast as they could. Did they do it? Stay tuned. No, of course they did. So we're going to talk about how they managed to do it. It's in the electric motor room, a little bit further after us here. Now, on our way back, you'll see the sea strainer valve itself. That's the big hole, the big pipe that was opened up by one of the Germans before leaving. Just before the next doorway, or hatch, just before you go through it, look down and to your left. Just before the next doorway, look down on the floor to your left. That big hole with the bright light shining on it, down and to your left is the sea strainer. Head around that way, please. I'll meet you all near the back of the boat in just a second.
doesn't wobble.
All right, folks, you'll be relieved to know the boat did not sink. The Americans were able to close that valve and stop the flooding. The boat also did not explode. Some U-boats, though, would be equipped with special timed explosive devices, triggered or armed by a German crewman before abandoning ship. None of these Germans got a chance to turn them on, though, so the Americans lucked out in that regard big time. They spent the next half day or so getting control of the boat, starting the next morning, because repairs could not be effected without any power in the batteries. So starting the next morning, a salvage team was dispatched to the submarine. Their specific job was to fix all the damaged stuff. One of the depth charges had jammed the rudders really hard to the right, and those rudders had to be straightened out to move the boat safely. The plan was to pull the boat at high speed to get its diesel engines and electric motors to turn on and recharge the batteries. But with the rudders jammed hard to the right, the boat was not going anywhere safely. So they, without any power, what would they be able to do? Use the manual rudder control through here in the stern torpedo room, through this closed hatch. Not a good sign. Typically only closed in an emergency like a flood or a fire. This hatch could also serve as a perfect spot for a German to have rigged an explosive trap before getting off the boat. So this made the salvage team super uneasy. Captain Gallery boarded the